Hello YouTube, I am back and today I would like to review the original Xbox. This big beast of a system, so freaking huge, but it really is a nice system and it's my second favorite of its generation of the 128-bit era. This is the last system, this is the, no, GameCube is the last, but this came out just after the PlayStation 2 in 2001, pretty much after Dreamcast died. And I like to think that the Xbox is a system that took over for the Dreamcast because it basically filled the void that the Dreamcast left when it died. And Sega decided to kill it. And then of course this is the good old Dreamcast, my favorite system of its era. And Xbox is my second favorite. I really don't like the PlayStation 2, if you've probably heard my other video. But yep. This is the original Xbox. It is a nice big system for Microsoft. It was their first system. Very, very, very successful. Big success for Microsoft. They were smart to do what they did with this. And it was like, if I remember correctly, it was pitched by a bunch of guys at Microsoft who did the ActiveX, you know, the little plugin they do. I think that was it. And my computer teacher told me that this system was, it's very loud because it has some parts of the Windows XP in it. Of course, it's not a computer. It's not a computer. Too bad it isn't, because it certainly is big enough to be. But it is. This system is very loud. It's the loudest system I have. It's even louder than its successor, the 360 over here. It's even louder than its successor. Gosh. It's a pretty loud system, but I mean, but it's a great system though. And let's see, talking about it, well, basically it's got this giant X logo. It's awesome logo right there. It's green. That's its color, and it's got a big X in front, in between the vents. The interesting note about the system, the vents. This system is very reliable. It never overheats, unlike its successor, the original 360. That thing dies too easy, as we all well know, the Red Ring of Death. This baby doesn't get that. She's better. More reliable. Huge, but more reliable. And the only downside is, I mean, this thing works very well. I've had this thing for more than 7 years now. It still works. I never had a problem with it. The only problem I've had is that the vents, they get dust in them pretty easily. When they collect dust, it kind of doesn't want to read disc very well. So you have to, what I've done is I like to open it up, and I just open up the disc trying to blow inside of it. That seems to work for me, since I don't know how to open up a system and, like, you know, clean it out, which I know you're supposed to do every year, but I don't know how to do that. Also, I'm afraid of tampering with it. My ex-girlfriend was able to take apart a 360 and, like, put a new shell on it when hers worked fine, but I obviously can't do that. But anyway, this is the front. It's got the disc tray right here with the big Xbox, with Xbox right there. Oh, right there. Yeah, the logo is right there also, and you got your power button right here. You got your disc tray button. The disc tray is right over here where the Xbox logo is. Very convenient in the front right there. Obviously, it's a little disc tray, so I'm not very fond of disc trays. I prefer top loaders like the Dreamcast has, but that's just me. But yeah. Oh, good thing about the system, it has four controller ports, not two like the PlayStation 2 does, or on those other systems. Luckily, the GameCube, Dreamcast, and Xbox all had four controller ports. Thankfully, they did. Nintendo, Sega, and Microsoft were smart. Sony was not. So there you go. That is the front of the system. Here's the back of it. It's beast, of course. You've got your this thing. Obviously, had internet play, because we can thank Dreamcast for that. Dreamcast was the first system to have internet play, have online play. But Xbox Live came out in 2002, and it was a obviously big success that's still around today, and I'm happy to be a part of it. Got more vents in the back over here. You got your power You got your power cable right here, adapter. It's a box, like every other freaking system. Those annoying little boxes that have been around since the dawn of the since like 1970 with the Atari. Oh gosh. So yep, and then you've got your standard AV cable right there, and that's Xbox. It's a very good system. So now we're gonna take a look at the controller. Oh, put it down. It's such a big system. Here's the awesome controller. They came out with an original controller, which is commonly known as the Duke. It was gigantic, and it had a giant Xbox logo right here, and the black and white buttons were over they were over here instead. But now on this model, this is the slim controller. It came out in like 2002, I believe, and it's a lot better. This is the one I've had since I first got the system. Very reliable controller. I love it. It's very comfortable. It's almost as good as the 360's controller. It's almost as good. Even though they're almost exactly the same. You just don't have black and white buttons, and the only difference is they mainly have triggers. But this thing has, I think, it kind of has a better grip just a little bit. Yeah, you got your analog stick right there, and did something Dreamcast didn't, and it has two analog sticks, which is definitely very nice. Good touch. You got the triggers right here. They're awesome. Kind of small, but they work pretty good. I like them. And a little something they kind of took from Dreamcast, I think, because Peter Moore was the president of Sega from like 2001 until about 2003, I believe, or whatever. And he helped design. He later moved to Microsoft, and I'm guessing he probably designed some of it. I'm not sure. You could correct me if I'm wrong. I'm thinking he probably had something to do with this, with the Dreamcast inspiration, because it's got little slots in the controller right here, two of them, just like Dreamcast does. But sadly, you don't have the VMU. But whatever. This is a good controller. I like it a lot. So that is my review of the original Xbox. I'm going to make a part 2 for the games, because I have a ton of games for this system. A ton. So there you go. Hope you've enjoyed my review, and I'll be back shortly with another one with the games. So peace out.